Hey, everybody. Welcome to NXT time. So we're live here at Marked by Wrestling. Thanks so much for joining Marked by Wrestling for another NXT watch along. So we've got a fun little situation on our hands. So tonight's episode of NXT was taped. So as a result, I'm watching it through Netflix, which means I don't have any ads. So if we're going to watch together, if any of you are watching live, I would love for you guys. We've done this once before to do me a solid and tell me when you're on commercial. I will pause my stream so that way we're still watching together. But anyway, currently we're still getting a recap of the NXT TNA Showdown. Hope everybody's doing well this week. Catch up. National Dessert today. Well, hello there, Zach Minger. Thanks so much for bringing that to our attention. Black Panther Gaming, good to see you, Tyrell. George, Nico, good to see you guys as well. Jacy got injured at a live event. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, you know what? Those there was a lot of buzz around those NXT live events. Saw there was a showdown between Obafemi, who we haven't seen since he lost the title, and Omos, which I wonder if they'll run that on TV or not, or if that was just for house show stuff. Ethan Page also defended the North American title against Johnny Gargano, which in Cleveland, which was pretty cool. I see. All right, so there's a montage there, a collage of ladies who are going to be in that battle royal tonight to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. So we've got, let's see, Sol Ruka, Jada Parker, Lola Vice. ZARIA is also taking on Blake Monroe tonight too. So we'll see what that match holds for us as well. Catching up with you guys. Raw, man, once we get to a once we get to a commercial break, we'll talk about Raw. A number of thoughts regarding Raw, and particularly the ending, right? Because that's all anyone's really talking about. But we'll get to that tonight, I promise. You guys remind me once we get to commercial break, we'll talk about that hot and shocking ending to Monday Night Raw as the NXT champion, Ricky Saints, fresh off that big L from NXT Showdown, losing to TNA, entering the ring. Mean Rashizi, welcome to the chat. Ronwell and Angela, good to see you both as well. Who do I think wins the Battle Royal? That's a great question, Angela. I really couldn't take in everybody who was in that little collage advertised for it. If it were me, though, someone I think has been really impressive lately who hasn't really gotten much of a title shot, I'd put Lash Legend in there. See what she's got. Jada's gotten a lot of opportunities. Lola's gotten a few opportunities, and I love them both, but I think it would be cool. Actually, it wouldn't be bad to see Soul either, but I would rather Soul not be two belts, you know? I would rather Soul drop her titles before she goes to challenge for the World Championship. Well, let's see what Ricky's got to say. Are there any websites where you can sell your books and all that? My signed book is going to cost $400. This local computer should cost $100. You know, Ronwell, I mean, I know they have like a book trade through Amazon. It's a possibility. That's the first thing that comes to mind, but they do have sort of a book trade kind of thing you can do there. All right, Nico. Hey, man. Yeah, I was happy to see my Bulldogs win this weekend. It was a little controversial, but you know what? A win is a win. That's fair, George. We wouldn't be mad at Lola got another shot. Ricky's got a lot of passion. But I don't know that I see a lot of what his promos I'm not connecting with. Okay. Y'all can call me a hater if you want, but there's something about Ricky's promos. All the energy is there, but I feel like he says a lot of words and don't say a whole lot. Does that make sense? Oh, Trick is here via satellite. Mod Father, good to see you. Hey, Movie Queen. I know we're sad in my house about Diane Keaton. Great actress. You following in my footsteps, and these size 15s are too big for you. Hmm. Pre-recorded comments from Trick Williams. Huh. Well, okay. Crowd's behind Ricky, so he's got the job done. I gotta say, so I guess we're looking at Ricky versus Trick at Halloween Havoc. Honestly, I'd rather see Trick be a 3-time champion, although Trick's ready to go up to the main roster. Oh, Javon and Leon are here. Teflon Don, it's taped. So if you guys hear spoilers in the chat, lock that down. Delete it. Hardys are in the house. Okay, so Dark State is getting a rematch at Halloween Havoc for the tag titles. Javon and Leon doing the Jeff Hardy dance. Very entertaining. All right, here comes Matt Cardona, a homecoming for the former Zack Ryder. Yeah, so not for nothing, Matt Cardona's um Matt Cardona's entrance and pop dwarfed Ricky Saints, the NXT champion. Thank you guys for the commercial. So I've got it paused now. All right, let's see if I can get my thoughts on Raw out within a couple of minutes. Yeah, so the vision has turned on Seth Rollins. Seth may or may not be injured for real. Again, I don't know. If they're playing like he's injured, hey Shamanica, welcome to the chat. If they're playing like Seth is injured, I hope he really is. I have a real pet peeve about faking injuries in wrestling. It takes me all the way back to Buff Bagwell. That's a name some of y'all might not remember. In the Nitro days, who legitimately broke his neck in a match with the Steiners on an episode of Nitro or Thunder. Had a lot of time off. He recovered and came back, but then they used his neck injury. Like they had him stretchered out on more than one occasion for heel heat, like he was faking being injured, and then just had like another heel turn again and stuff. And I think that's stupid. I think that goes beyond working the crowd and goes into a sort of emotional manipulation that I think is too much for pro wrestling. And Seth, he already did the thing with the faking of the injury at SummerSlam, and that paid off. And so doing it that way is one thing, doing it once, but I don't want to say that I hope that he's injured. I don't want him to be injured, as much as I don't want anybody injured, but I really hope he's not faking though. If that really is part of the issue as to why they seemingly kind of abruptly just disintegrated that group. So on the one hand, on like the booking side of things, I'm not super crazy about them kind of blowing up the vision. Like even before War Games, before Survivor Series, this so far away from say like WrestleMania or something, it feels really abrupt and quick. But I will say this, the way they did it, I thought was really, really good. I love that Braun was really the only one who turned at first. And then he convinced Bronson Reed to turn. And then they basically, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Not exploited, but they intimidated Paul Heyman to turn as well. And so I kind of like that sort of coup that Braun Breaker pulled off, him just snapping at a moment's notice. I don't know that makes Seth a babyface because I don't feel any more sympathy for him because it's not like I will say it'll be really dumb if he ends up somehow being partners with CM Punk or Jey Uso or whoever, all these people who have been terrorizing him. Thank you, George. NXT Anonymous. Seth's not a face. He just got turned on by his group. Yeah, Dawsey. That's fair. Because, I mean, honestly, if you're Bronson Reed, you beat Roman Reigns twice on your own. And, like, I mean, well, I didn't beat Roman Reigns twice, but you put him on a stretcher once and then you beat him. So, like, what are you going to do there? I mean, you're not going to tell me you don't need me. Okay, so Jordan Grace and Kalani are both in the Battle Royal. I don't want Kalani winning this Battle Royal either. I think we have we need a break from two belts people. We don't need to add to that list. We got the Hardys with 2 belts. We got Sol Ruca with 2 belts. We got Dominic Mysterio with 2 belts. We don't need any more right now. And here comes Josh Briggs. He looks more denim than leather tonight. It's like a reverse symbiote on his pants. So Briggs or Cardona, who do you guys have tonight? I kind of feel like Cardona might take this. So, George, it depends on who the knockouts are that are in the Battle Royal. I think it's a possibility. I've got to say, I would be very interested if Tessa Blanchard shows up tonight, though. Again, that's the problem with Jacy Jayne being the champion. Like, I don't know. You feel like a face should win the Battle Royal, but we'll see what happens. Loud Matt Cardona chats coming from the crowd, along with a little bit of woo woo woo. Yeah, I know. Ash worked so hard to get over in TNA, and then, only for her to have an early retirement. It's a bummer for sure. Yeah, Sophie, we're sad to hear about the news about Diane Keaton. I mean, she was still kind of relatively young for someone passing away. I know she was like in her 70s. That's not really old. Sad stuff. Oh, Cardona takes not a crazy bump, but a kind of a nasty one off the second turnbuckle. Seemed like he might have hit his head a little hard. All right, Teflon Don. We're gonna get Miss Parker in that Battle Royal. 20 of the most eligible contenders for Jacy Jayne's NXT Women's Championship. So it's going to be a hotly contested bout tonight, as well as one-on-one ZARIA and Blake Monroe. As right now we've got Matt Cardona, the return of Matt Cardona, and Josh Briggs in the ring today. They really love to hate Josh Briggs in the NXT arena. A lot of heat for Briggs, and they love always trying to get that drive-by kick on Cardona. Oh, he's even doing the woo woo woo. Nope. Back dropped out of the ring, and Cardona recovers. Mr. Chelsea Green over the top takes down Briggs. Thank you, Nico. Hey, everybody. Be like Nico. Hit that like button. We can use every like we can around here at Mark Bar Wrestling. So let's go. Oh, thank you, George. All right, back to commercial. So yeah, I don't know where we're going with creative on Raw with the Vision, but hopefully, we'll see what happens. And someone brought up earlier about the Saturday night's main event that's going to be on November 1st. So, we're a little over 2 weeks away from that weekend as well. And now we're going to have to figure out if Seth is really injured. What are they doing with the world title? And especially since on Raw, here's an interesting question too, right? If Seth really is injured, which he might be, and they knew that, they went ahead and had a number one contenders match to close Raw. What was the last match? Anyways, and CM Punk is now officially the number one contender. So, that is an interesting creative choice to go ahead and follow through with immediately determining a number one contender if you were to already know that your champion is hurt. So I did hear someone say, or someone suggest, that they really just ought to have CM Punk, that they should vacate the title and have CM Punk and LA Knight just battle for the vacant title. I wouldn't be mad at that one bit. However, you have to ask yourself now, if Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker have just obliterated Seth Rollins, and let's pretend that he's really injured and the title maybe has to be vacated, what's keeping Braun Breaker from being like, I'm the one who sidelined the champion, I want to be champion? Like, I don't, before this happened, I was thinking Reed and Breaker should have been going for the tag titles, accumulating more gold within the vision. But there's no need for them to saddle themselves with tag titles now. Like, these are two mercenaries here looking for big targets. So it doesn't make any sense to me why Braun Breaker himself wouldn't be going. Thank you, George. Wouldn't be going for the world title himself. So we'll see what happens. I'm very curious as to what's next. I just hope it's not Seth faking an injury again. That's gonna be a big blow to my patience with WWE's booking if they're just screwing around with this again on that. Briggs looking like his contact fell out. Have you guys missed Matt Cardona in a WWE ring? Big reception for him coming back and making his entrance. Oh, choke slam reversed into a DDT from Cardona. Booker putting Cardona over heavy on commentary. Big clothesline from Cardona. Coming off the ropes. And facebuster down on the ring. All right. So Cardona starting to gain control over Josh Briggs, and the crowd is here for it. Briggs, too, I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with him, too. It seems like they're keeping him as this, at his lowest, an upper mid-card heel threat, but not necessarily a main event threat. He had a shot at Obafemi, but he's kind of just been lingering around backstage since he lost to Obafemi and hasn't shown himself. Oh, Cardona shouting out his wife with the unprettier there. Pledge allegiance. Only two, though. It's because you're not Chelsea Green. But anyway, I'm curious if Briggs will be lined up for a world title shot with Ricky Saints at any point, because he could be a genuine threat to Ricky Saints the way they've both been booked. All right, going for a drive-by. Dro, the next leader for the Vision. I mean, it's either going to be Braun Breaker or Heyman is just going to start continue to assemble guys. And I could see it like a Heenan family thing, or a Don Callis family for modern references, where it's not so much a leader of the group, but an assembly of heels who are all equal. The Bobby Heenan family back in the day had like Andre the Giant and Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect and Haku and all these guys, King Kong Bundy, over the years, different guys. And they didn't really have a pecking order as to who the leader was. It was really Bobby Heenan was just a common thread. Leg lariat, or radio silence, they call it. And Cardona only too. That's a great question, Dro. If Brock Lesnar aligns himself with a vision, I don't see Brock aligning with a faction, but he could still have a peripheral connection to Paul Heyman, though. We'll see. People wanted that. People really wanted that radio silence to get 3. Yeah, between Braun and Bronson, George, I wondered who else should join. I think it wouldn't be a terrible thing to bring up somebody from NXT. To I mean, here's the thing. Just in terms of destructive capability, Obafemi would be a fantastic addition, except I'm sure whoever they bring in, they would want to be a heel. So I don't think Obafemi should debut as a heel. And Josh Briggs gets the win with a big boot. Crowd's a little disappointed. So Briggs goes over Matt Cardona. I'm a little surprised by that. I thought Cardona would take that one. So, I mean, Oba could be a possibility. We don't know that. Trick actually wouldn't be a bad option either, if we're being honest. Trick might actually be a fantastic choice if they were to do that, because imagine Bronson and Braun both thinking they've outgrown Seth and that they should be mentoring guys. And you bring up a guy from NXT. Okay, backstage. Oh, Lyra's here again. Lyra's talking to Hank and Tank and Chase U. Lyra's looking for Tatum. Lyra and Tatum reunion. Arguments about who should be the number 1 contenders to the NXT tag titles. Okay, so what if Tatum won the Battle Royal? That would actually be pretty incredible. Also, Lyra has 10 times the personality on NXT that she has on Raw. She has like all the confidence on NXT. As she's much more entertaining to me on NXT than she is on Raw. She's not terrible on Raw. Her and Bailey are having a good time. But as Dr. Wagner Jr., the Latin American champion from AAA, is making his way to the ring, he'll be taking on Lexis King tonight. I think fully expect Dr. Wagner to win this match unless Ethan Page decides to make some trouble. But yeah, actually, now that I think about it, seeing Tatum win could be a lot of fun. I know I said Lash Legend at the beginning, but yeah. Dr. Wagner with the streamers. All right, so yeah, I think Wagner is the safe choice. I'm assuming we're at commercial now. The good thing about these pre-recorded NXTs is they fade to black before continuing. So if everybody can confirm to me that we're on commercial, we should be good. Now, yeah, who would you guys want to see if Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were to bring someone in to replace Seth? Who would you want to see lead? Not even lead, but just join the faction. It could be a leader, it could be a follower, could be whatever you want to be. Who would you have? Let me know in the comments. And also let me know once we're off commercial, please. All right. I'm going to try to set a little timer for myself as well. Dro, you think Brock? Okay. I mean, there is a thread line there. There's a connection. They are still on, George. Okay, that's crazy. George, is Lexis making his entrance right now? Oh, now we're in a commercial. Oh, you mean the okay, so Laney Reed is officially in Fatal Influence. Okay. George, let me know when Lexis makes his entrance. I'll try to sync back up with you guys. I could have sworn we were in a commercial break. You're in commercial now. Okay, got it. All right. Well, they've made it official finally that Laney Reed is a part of Fatal Influence. So that makes sure. Yep. One more time from our mod father. Everyone, make sure you hit that like button. We do this every week here at NXT. It's a great time to be a fan of NXT. Lots of exciting things going on. We got a big battle royal tonight. We've got a couple of hard hitting matches as well still to come. So make sure you hit that like button, please, and thank you. So, anyways, yeah, you know what? After seeing Showdown last week, I was really impressed with the Survivor Series style matches, and honestly made me miss them a great deal. I remember, I don't know, you guys tell me if you're, any Survivor Series historians or fans of Survivor Series, if you can remember back to the actual elimination matches that Survivor Series used to do, who was your favorite ever Survivor Series team? I'll have to go for me. I think it was 91. It was 1990. It was 1990. My favorite Survivor Series team was the Ultimate Warrior, the Texas Tornado, and the Legion of Doom, which was actually kind of a fun little spin-off because they were called the Warriors anyways. But Ultimate Warrior, obviously, is Ultimate Warrior. Before he came to WWF, Kerry Von Erich, the Texas Tornado, was also known as the Modern Day Warrior, and the Legion of Doom, of course, known as the Road Warriors. So they all had warrior gimmick names anyways, and putting them all together at the time, I don't know if this was all true. I think if it was November 1990, I think all of them might have been the champions at that point too. So Ultimate Warrior was WWF champion, Texas Tornado was Intercontinental champion, and I think the Road Warriors were the tag champions at that point. If not, they were about to be very quickly because I think they had won them at SummerSlam. Both the Road Warriors and Texas Tornado, I think, had won the titles at SummerSlam. And Ultimate Warrior he'd lose the title at Royal Rumble the next year to Sergeant Slaughter, but he wasn't there yet. So anyway, all of them having all the gold together was pretty cool. And then you had and they faced Mr. Perfect and the 3-man team of Demolition, Axe, Smash, and Crush. So anyway, that was like the opening match of 1990 Survivor Series, but it was a lot of fun. And that was the one Survivor Series that had like the ultimate match of survival, where all the survivors of different matches were went to the end and had like a final Survivor Series match. Now that I think about it, gosh, I'm trying to remember if it was 90 or 91. Yeah. Yes, man, I got it. And I want to share this love from our mod father here. Being here is like watching wrestling with your brothers and sisters. I'd like to thank everyone in the chat for just being amazing. So thank you, Stephen, for making this a safe space. 100%, man. Like the whole, I know that I haven't been on as often as I was in the past month and everything. But my number one goal, and our whole coalition family, brother and sister A and B, our cousin Just Alex, we try to harvest positive spaces. But more specifically for me, the thing that I love about wrestling is enjoying it, like not trying to be smarter than everybody else, not trying to make other people feel stupid for the matches they like, but we choose to watch a thing together, or talk about a specific topic together, and we think about the things that we like about it. So when we talk about Survivor Series, let's remember the things that we love about it. Let's try to find the positive in things, and we all have something to share in that space. The thing that brings you joy, that makes you a mark, right? Like, I mean, and there ain't nothing wrong with marking out over stuff, and that's one of the foundational principles. That's a pillar, if you will, to use that language, of this channel, and why I decided to step into this space to do that. Because who would ever want to consistently watch a thing that makes them miserable? Some of us sports fans, we know how that feels with supporting our teams from time to time, but that's not why we watch them. We'll watch them even if they make us miserable from time to time, but we watch them because of the joy that we get out of doing it. And so this is no different. So Lexis King is just stepping over Dr. Wagner and really goofing around. Sorry, I think I went ahead a little bit here. Okay. So I think I hit pause too soon earlier and jumped around a little bit, but I've got Lexis King getting in the ring now. Nevertheless, yeah, so Laney Reed has been announced as a member of Fatal Influence now. And Lexis King, I think, has gotten himself into some trouble here. I don't see him getting through Dr. Wagner. George, I was sitting here thinking about that. Now that Fatal Influence has added another member, it looked like before Jasmine Nix got released, it looked like Fallon was getting ready to turn on Jacy at some point, and maybe she still will. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this dynamic changes. Like, will Jacy use Laney to kick out Fallon Henley, or will Fallon use Laney to kick out Jacy? I think that'll be an interesting dynamic in that story. Modfather, growing up, you're the only one watching wrestling in your house. You played sports, you had to hide there. As true wrestling makes some people just make fun of you. Yeah, I know, man. It's one thing I've said in the past several years, like that whole played out thing about trying to make fun of people for being wrestling fans, especially because it always comes down to oh, you think there's that's fake, right? And honestly, the thing I say now is so is your favorite TV show. I don't know anybody who watches TV that exclusively watches unscripted entertainment. Otherwise you're just watching sports in the news, and you could make an argument that some of that is getting scripted these days anyways, but I'm not going to travel down that rabbit hole. But yeah, if people watch Game of Thrones or Task or whatever, that stuff on HBO, or watch reality shows, or game shows, talk shows, dramas and comedies, all that stuff is scripted, man. Even reality shows are scripted. So I ain't worried about it. Hey, Justin, got home from the store. Okay. Yeah. Oh no, reality shows are totally scripted, or at least actually reality shows are pretty close to wrestling. They at least script the scenario, and then let people kind of work with it. So it's, Justin. Okay. So what you've missed so far, it appears that Halloween Havoc, we're going to have Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams for the NXT title. That was done via interview. Dr. Wagner Jr. is here tonight taking on Lexis King. Matt Cardona took on Josh Briggs, but Josh Briggs won clean, by the way. And then there's a battle royal to determine the number one contender to Jacy Jayne's NXT title. Also on the card, and that's going to have TNA knockouts and NXT women in the battle royal. And then also ZARIA and BLAKE MONROE are going to go one-on-one with each other as well. You've been to 4 WrestleManias, Teflon Don. Which ones have you been to, man? A ton of live shows. So I've been to a few PLEs. I went to most of my PLEs or shows I went to were in the Atlanta area. I grew up, I went to a few house shows in Georgia in the early 90s and went to a Clash of Champions then as well. Then I didn't go to a wrestling show for a number of years after that. And then I've got, let me see. Sorry. I'm just going to try to find the commercial break spot here real quick. After that, I went to a few PLEs in the Atlanta area. Let's see. George, no, it does not. It did not seem as though anyone from Fatal Influence is going to be in the Battle Royal tonight, because in that they had a segment where they made it sound like all of Fatal Influence is going to be watching the Battle Royal with Jacy Jayne. So there we go. All right, sorry, I'm caught up now. George, you're my commercial guy, so let me know when we're back. So yeah, Dro, UFC is a show too, and I'll say the Ultimate Fighter, I believe, was scripted to a degree. The actual UFC cards, you know, I think that's a little more legitimate. Anyways, where was I? Let's see. What am I? Oh, I was talking about the shows I've been to. So yeah, Teflon 9. So I went to Backlash. That was Backlash 07 that was in Atlanta. If you guys remember the last man standing match between Batista and The Undertaker, where they went off the side of the stage and had a double DQ, I was there for that. Oh, Teflon Don, that's amazing. I was at 24. I was at WrestleMania 24. So that was my first and to this day my only WrestleMania. My brother and I went there, and I was supposed to go to WrestleMania 27 with him in Atlanta, but it didn't work out. And honestly, in hindsight, that's one of the weakest WrestleManias there was. So I wasn't missing a whole lot there. However, we also went to Royal Rumble 2010 together, which was a great show. Rey Mysterio and The Undertaker. Yeah, man, you were at 30. That is wild. And 34. Oh, you went to 2 New Orleans ones. Okay. And the New Orleans and the Texas ones. Nice. And then you went to Mania 39, Dro. I wanted to go to that one so bad. But at that point, like, it was wrestling, going to Wrestling Live is just too far out of my budget now. And I would have loved to have been at the Hollywood one, though. That was a great Mania. And I wasn't too far away either, but that's okay. So, yeah, so I went to those the last, and I think that was the last show I went to was Rumble 2010, if I'm remembering correctly. And so anyway, it was pretty wild. Okay, yeah, all right. New Orleans only 3-4 hour drive, not too bad. Okay, that's great, man. I'd love some beignets, bro. I know it always comes back to food with me, but listen, at least it comes back to good food. You know what I'm saying? Black Panther Gaming, what you got for us, Steven? You remember Batista's betrayal on Triple H and Rick back in the day, and how Braun and Paul Seth kind of turned on set? Yeah, it was a little bit like the Evolution betrayal. I would argue, though, it was a little more like when they turned on Randy than when Batista turned on Triple H, though. But yeah, I'm still puzzled by that decision. I'm happy. I'm happy that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are still on the same page and have kind of what do they call it in the Terminator series? Skynet became self-aware, like they're kind of sentient now. Like they know what kind of monsters they are, and they know they don't need to be anybody's henchmen. So I kind of like them off the leash, so to speak. So I'm very interested in where that will go, but we'll see what happens. Justin, the Team 3D versus Hardy match. I mean, I'm glad those guys got their flowers. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch Bound for Glory, so I didn't really see it from beginning to end. The clips that I saw, honestly, it felt a little underwhelming for me. And I don't mean to be dismissive or disrespectful to either of those teams because they've been, they're Hall of Famers without a doubt, legends in tag team wrestling. But both of those teams, to a degree, wrestle like the miles have caught up with them. And so when I see them wrestle, I don't criticize them or anything like that, but it does just make me a little sad as a fan when I think about how hard those bumps they've taken over the years are. And now you're seeing it play out and how they move around in the ring. And I'm just kind of like, oh man, you don't have to keep doing this. As they used to say for Ric Flair, leave the memories alone. But if they keep wanting, if they wanted to come out and have that one last match, good for them. And I hope they got the love that they deserve. I feel you, Teflon Don. I know a Royal Rumble is a great experience to be at. It's just such a unique event, right? I don't have to tell you that, but I think that was one of the most fun ones because the Royal Rumble I went to, if you remember 2010, was the one CM Punk started off as like number 3 or number 2, and he kept cutting promos in the beginning of the Rumble. He was in his like straight edge society phase. That was also the one where Shawn Michaels like crashed out and started super kicking the refs and everything. And it was also one where Edge made his first return from injury and beat Cena at the end to win the Rumble. So it was overall great. Also, Beth Phoenix was in that Rumble and eliminated Great Khali. A lot of fun moments in that Rumble. So good stuff. Do I think Austin Theory will join Heyman's group? Well, I'll tell you what, Justin, if Theory does join that group, I am going to be one of the first to hop on AMB's channel and see that reaction because those two have been going back and forth on Austin Theory for almost as long as I've known them. So I'd be highly entertained to hear their collective reaction about Austin Theory pairing up with Paul Heyman. By the way, it was good to see you guys on Saturday morning as I sat in for B for Crown Jewel. We had a great time, me and A, doing that. Sorry, for all you early risers, I wasn't about to do Raw on Monday. I was actually up at that same time on Sunday as well, and I just couldn't do. At my local time was 5 a.m. I couldn't do 5 a.m. 3 days in a row, so I just had to give. I had to give myself a break from that and just watch Raw later, which I did, and it was very enjoyable. It was a good show. Well, Justin, Trick Williams does have an NXT title match against Ricky Saints at Halloween Havoc in just a couple of weeks. That was announced tonight before you joined the chat. So, throw RDR or Brendan Allen for the next UFC fight. I don't know either of those fighters super well, so I'm just going to say Brendan Allen. Who do you got? Michinoku driver from Wagner, and that's gonna call it a night for Lexis King. Lexis King is getting better in the ring with his psychology. I that blindfold match he had with Miles Bourne was really good. But also I wonder how long they'll keep him in NXT. But they are using him every week, so I'll give him that. So they want to do something with him, it seems. RDR by submission. Okay. Well, I trust your judgment, Drew. Oh, Dr. Wagner's cutting a promo in Spanish. He's calling Ethan. Yeah, he's calling out Ethan Page. So Ethan Page on his way out. While Ethan's on his way out, Jacy asks, should they save Braun Breaker for Seth Rollins for WrestleMania, as in Braun wins the Rumble, or should they do that match before Mania? Jacy, I think that's a good match to do at the Rumble. If Seth is good to go, if he's healthy, I think that's a match you can do at the Royal Rumble. I don't think that's the WrestleMania match. I think Breaker should either take on Bronson Reed or someone else, or maybe Brock Lesnar. And Seth's WrestleMania matches going forward should be like Roman or Cody again, should be like top tier level guys, because I don't know how many Seth's got left. And also Seth and Roman needs to be one of those matches, in my opinion, before both of them are done. Yeah, Teflon Don, Theory's got something. They can do something with him. What's interesting is I've seen interviews with him, and he seems like a natural babyface, honestly. In interviews I've seen him in, he seems like an actually reasonably likable guy. So I don't know if heel is the right thing for him. Day of the Dead. I know that. Ethan Page is such a troll. Okay. Ooh. I have no idea what this means, but Halloween Havoc. Okay. Dr. Wagner and Ethan Page at Halloween Havoc in a Day of the Dead match, which he just says anything goes. You know WWE, they just have to slap a new gimmick on a no DQ match, and it's just a no DQ match. But there we go. Zarya and Sol Ruka are hawking Maybelline makeup backstage. Hawking, not hawking. Ooh. Zarya says she's going to face Blake Monroe alone. She's a little tired of she is a little tired of Zarya's of Sol Ruka's constantly trying to add more belts to her repertoire. So Zarya says, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to go out to this match on my own. Because how many belts do you need? Which, listen, is a valid criticism. Sol Ruka's already got 2 belts, and she doesn't really defend either one of them all that much. So, interesting. Okay. Let's see. Braun versus Brock and Seth Rollins. Yeah, absolutely. No, I don't want Braun winning the Saudi Rumble either, Jacy. Honestly, I'm still on the train of Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble. I think that would be a good. I honestly think that would be a good booking. Yeah, I loved the in-ring introduction that John Cena had prepared for AJ Styles. That whole match, from beginning, from entrances to finish, was excellent. It was exactly what it needed to be. You know what I mean? So in that regard, I had a lot of fun with that match. It was probably the most fun I had for the whole show. Was that. Frying some catfish. Hey, all right. Teflon Don, shout out to that. All right. What now? I got to know, Modfather, what kind of sides are you throwing in with that catfish? We don't get a lot of catfish out here anymore. That's one thing I miss about Georgia, man. Is maybe not catfish specifically, but like that sort of southern fish fry stuff. It's always the good stuff. Nevertheless, yeah. So we're getting Dr. Wagner versus Ethan Page. They did not specify if it's going to be for both titles or one of the titles, or if they're just going to have a grudge match. But it's a Day of the Dead match at Halloween Havoc, which is basically just another fancy version of no DQ. And then also you're going to have ZARIA versus BLAKE MONROE coming up next. And then ZARIA and Soul had a little bit of a falling out over the fact that Soul is going to be in the Battle Royal because ZARIA feels like she's getting a little too greedy with title opportunities when she's already got 2 titles in the first place. So ZARIA is going to be there. Catfish Po' Boy somehow. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Hey, babe. Sorry, I was going to tell my wife that. I think she was going to be very proud of that decision. But I don't think she's in the room. Sorry for yelling into the mic. Oh, yeah, I was just going to tell you one of our guys in the chat is making his wife a catfish po' boy for dinner. Yeah, I knew you would be pleased with that. So, yeah, she approves, Modfather. Just wanted you to know that. So I'm very intrigued by that. Yeah, man. And homemade fries, good for you, man. Absolutely love that. Now, do you put any seasoning on it, Modfather, or anything like that? You just fry it up? Like what? Because I know you said you used to be around New Orleans, so I'm curious what kind of spices you might work in with all that. Very curious about all that. Anyway, you don't have to answer, but if you want to, we are listening. Yeah, Sophie, I don't know what Trick's future holds. Maybe he's going to put over Ricky at Halloween Havoc before he comes up. I mean, Trick would not be a bad addition to Braun and Bronson either if they were going to add somebody, because he's done so much in TNA and NXT at this point. As long as they have a plan for him with creative, he could be ready for the main roster. And I think he could be utilized really well. You could pair him with somebody if you want to, or just have him on his own. Either way, you could make that work, I think. So, George or whoever else is watching, just make sure you guys let me know when we're back from break as well. I've got it paused right now, ready to go. It looks like when we come back from break, Santino and Ava are talking to Leon Slater and Javon Evans. So that is that. Whew, man. But yeah, I couldn't be happier, Sophie, that Def Rebel looks like they're winding things up with WWE. I have enjoyed a few of their tracks. I won't say that everything they've done has been bad, but it's definitely been more bad than good. Even worse than bad, it's been mediocre. Like just music that doesn't connect with you at all. And like it's one of those things that you don't really notice unless you're looking for it, but how important music is to a wrestler's presentation. And CFOs, they made CFOs look like Jim Johnston. And Jim Johnston, of course, is, the GOAT of wrestling themes, of course. Been there. He was there for the longest period of time and made some of the most iconic entrance musics. So the more guys go back to stuff, I'm telling you what, man, if Johnny Gargano can get Rebel Heart back, dude, I'm telling you, that will improve a lot of his perception out of the gate. I think part of DIY's apathy with the crowd has so much to do with their entrance, because Johnny had one of the best themes in NXT when he was there, and they just dropped it. They used it briefly on the main roster and then cut it once they reunited DIY, which bothered me so much. Black and garlic pepper seasoning, Creole seasoning, paprika, a little salt and mustard as the bind. Okay, man. That's a good combination. All right. Well done, sir. I know she's gonna love that. Excellent work. My wife went on a cooking spree this weekend. My kids were home from college for the weekend, and man, we had so much Southern cooking up in this house. I might have to fast for a few days just to get my weight back down. But it was no promises though. It was so good. So good. Thank you, George. We are back. Listen, I want Leon Slater and Javon to go on a tag run together so bad. They're asking for a tag team match. Who's here now? Stax and Ariana Grace. An X Division title shot for Stax. Okay. Is that going to be tonight or when? Whoa, we got another crash. Oh, Trick just laid out Ricky Saints. Laid him out. Well, Ricky's down. And here comes Blake Monroe. Here comes the glamour versus ZARIA. Now, oh my gosh, the crowd is singing along with Blake's theme song. I was about to say, I got to give Def Rebel credit. This song's not terrible. It's just such it's a little girly pop song, you know, but it works for Blake Monroe. And it's, I don't know, it's a well constructed theme song. All right, hold on. We got a fry recipe here from Teflon Don. For French fries, only seasoning is garlic and herb, black pepper seasoning, a little paprika for the color red. Okay. Some good seasoned fries, man. Covers a multitude of sins. I like that. Absolutely. It's true. Roman and Bronson are 1-1 against each other, but that one that Roman got ended up with him leaving on a stretcher. So I don't know that one matters all that much. I did see Scott Steiner's tweet. He's living his best Steiner life on Twitter for sure. Milking the rest out of that math promo. And here comes ZARIA. Looking like she's ready to fight. I don't mind seeing ZARIA, you know, as a solo without Sol Ruca, because you kind of forget how vicious she can be because she plays things so coyly and sweetly when she's with Sol Ruca. So Justin, who do I think is going to take the NXT titles from the Hardys? I mean, there's a possibility that Dark State wins it right back. Although, if Javon and Leon Slater made their way into that, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad one bit. All right, Blake and ZARIA, who you guys got for this match? I feel like Blake's going to take it because she's been eyeing the North American title from Seoul, and I think if she beat ZARIA, she would have a stake for that. She would have a definite stake to claim against Sol Ruca. So, all right, George, did they go to commercial right after ZARIA's entrance? Oh man, Steiner's promos were legendary for sure. The way how sometimes he would just he would have the Steiner math promo, but sometimes he would just crash out and just be like, "He's fat, small Joe," just random stuff, man. It's crazy stuff. Yeah, I don't have a clue what they're going to be doing. I don't have a clue what they're going to do for Survivor Series. Okay. Let's see. George, when did they go to commercial for you? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be really tacky for them to do another fake injury thing for Seth. I mean, it's still possible, but like, not everything can be heel heat, you know. Let's see. During Zaria's entrance. All right, got it. So you just tell me when we're back, and I'll fire it up again at the time of lockup. Oh man, yeah. So I'll tell you what, Justin. If Jay joined Heyman, that you could make that work. If he left, that would be a shock for sure. The only thing is, the only thing there is just all the beatings he's taken from them. You know, that's the only stuff. Like I don't necessarily. They could tell the story though if they want to. He could possibly do a if you can't beat them, join them sort of thing, as a possibility, but that would be a big twist. Yeah, yeah, right. Teflon Don. Like, who's gonna tell Scott Steiner that he's not killing the promo? That's the thing. Like, yeah, no, it's great. It's great, Scott. I can see all the guys. I can see all the guys backstage be like, "Great promo, Scott. Whatever you say, man. Great job. One of the best promos in the business." What's crazy is I saw. I highly recommend Chris Van Vliet to anybody. He's a great interviewer, and he actually just did an episode of his podcast Insight with Io Sky today, which I haven't seen that, but I did see a clip or two of Io talking about like her trash can spot. Speaking of war games, where she jumped off the cage with a trash can over her head. But the episode he did with Scott Steiner was actually really entertaining. And I knew Rick RT, good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the chat. We got Blake Monroe and ZARIA going one-on-one right now. Entertaining thing about the Scott Steiner interview was that I never knew this, and I've been a Steiner's fan for a long time, that he actually invented, or at least popularized, was one of the first people to do a 450 in America, which on the one hand doesn't surprise me because Scott was really an innovator of offense that is highly underrated for his innovation. But two, like that was like seeing him do a 450 in like 1989 was like seeing Brock do the shooting star press in 2003. Like just crazy stuff. I don't know, Sophie, what they're going to do with the championship. A tournament would be fun because you do have multiple guys, um, who have been aiming for the title with Jey Uso and LA Knight, but they've already said that CM Punk is the number one contender. So that's the thing, is that if Seth is hurt, they knew Seth was hurt before Braun turned on him. And they knew if Seth is hurt, they knew he was hurt before they decided to make CM Punk number one contender. So I don't know. If it were me, this is what I'd do. Instead of doing a full-on Deadly Game tournament, me too, Rick RT, the first time I saw freaking Steiner, it blew my mind. It reminded me of the first time I ever saw Moonsault. Just insane. So what I would do is do like a tournament for whoever's going to face CM Punk. I would do that. Do the final, do the world title match at Saturday night's main event, and I would. I think we're having to hit another commercial break already. All right, tell me, guys, if you're on commercial or not, please. If you just went, or if you're just now went to commercial. I would have, say, like Jey Uso versus LA Knight, and like somebody versus somebody else, kind of like how NXT has done their tournaments over the course of the year, just over a couple of weeks. Boil it down and then have the title match versus CM Punk for crowning a new champion at Saturday night's main event. I mean, that's how I'd do it if it were me. But yeah. Well, Breaker was holding it for sure, and so it's going to take somebody to come take it from him if they want to do that. I'm not about to try to take a belt away from a Steiner. I'll tell you that right now. Oh man, so man, are you guys in commercial, by the way, or is the match still going for you guys? I appreciate everybody's positive attitude here tonight. So, I mean, Ethan could be a good fit with the Vision, but he's just got so much going on right now. I wouldn't mess with that right now. Yeah. So, by the way, chat. I'm watching this through Netflix, which means it's not actually commercialized because NXT was already taped. So as I'm watching it, along with those of you who are watching it on regular TV, you just got to let me know when you're on commercial and when you come back. So, there's going to be a men's speed tournament. That's awesome. See, I didn't get this ad. Wait a minute. Let's see. George, did you guys already end your match with Blake and ZARIA? Okay, dang. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm skipping ahead. Sorry, y'all. Man, oh man. Thanks, George. All right, I'm gonna catch up with you guys in a minute. So, a men's speed tournament, huh? All right, Rick RT, you can help me out with this. Let's see. Sean Legacy. Hey, I was wondering what happened to him. Zach Wentz, Jasper Troy, El Grande Americano. Okay. All right. All right, I've caught up to Hank and Tank making their entrance now. And it goes to commercial after they make their entrance. I am ready for Chad to return, Teflon Don, but I actually kind of like the I like the current El Grande though. So I hope they do something. Do something with them. More breaks in a bowl full of cats. Amen, Dossie. I know, man. It's absolutely mad. It's absolute madness trying to stick with me. Oh man. I honestly, when Gable returns, I don't know if I'd rather see him as Gable or as like another El Grande. You know what I mean? If he would come in like that, I kind of would. I wouldn't mind seeing him and the current El Grande, but him being himself. Who knows? But I gotta say, at least the gimmick of El Grande has certainly evolved from what it originally was. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of it, but I don't know. Oh man. Yeah. So yeah, Rich Holland had I tell you what, man, he never really had a good shake of it, honestly, after yeah, right. I know you are, but what am I? Yeah, Ridge Holland had a rough go of it after the whole Big E stuff. He had a good. I thought his bit with Chase U wasn't bad, but after that was over, like they just didn't do anything with him. And I don't know if that was more on him or more on creative, but yeah, to find out you're not being renewed while you're still hurt just sucks. Especially getting injured while you're on loan to TNA to do extra work is a hard thing to wrap your head around. But also, I mean, they weren't doing a ton with him either, so it's not a huge surprise that they're moving on from him. But yeah, it just sucks that it happens when it's happened the way it did. But the business can be an ugly place sometimes and just unfortunate. So yeah, the Wes Lee one surprised me as well. I hope he lands somewhere where he gets utilized well. I always thought he was pretty special and seemed as though once he came back from that injury, they just didn't really do much with him. And I wonder why that was, because they did a ton with him with the North American title before he got hurt. Like he was Oba with that title before Oba was Oba with that title. Just a really long title reign, lots of defenses. He absolutely made those North American title matches, must see TV. So yeah, he did some great work with it. So hopefully he'll land somewhere where he can have a good living and make a name for himself all over again. But we'll see what happens here. So Ricker T, are we back? Chase U making their entrance now. And I think it's a triple threat tag match to determine the number one contenders for the Hardys. So I would rather see Wes Lee with the Hurt Syndicate than a Ricochet or someone else. I mean, I think he's got a lot to offer, and I think he's got a better attitude. It still cracks me up that one of Chase U is Little Finley. I never would have guessed that. Honestly, I miss the old Chase U though. I miss Duke Hudson and Thea Hale, and yeah. All right, here comes the culling. Bad News Brown. Man, that takes me back. Yeah, ESPN. I mean, they got this one writer who grades the WWE shows on ESPN, but I don't really read them. I mean, I honestly just don't pay much attention to other people's grades or recommendations of WWE shows. I just tend to do my own, and then I'll talk with A and B about it, and talk with you guys about it. But like star ratings and all that other stuff. I don't ever particularly get into whether something's good or not because of what someone else said, unless it's a thing I'm not going to watch. But if it's a thing I watch for myself, then it's it. All right, Tank is ready to go, and Nico Vance and I think it's Uriah Connors from Chase U, all in the ring to start off the match. Lots of roll-ups galore going on right now. Man, kicked off the O'Connor roll right into a small package. Ooh, jeez. Nico Vance hit Uriah O'Connor's hard double super kick now to the culling. Spears is in the ring now. Codebreaker. Chicago's a great crowd, Sophie. Actually, wasn't Survivor Series in Chicago? Yeah, Survivor Series was in Chicago when Punk came back. So, does it, Ricker T? What's the honk honk about in Canada? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't ask. This is a family show, but I don't know. Man, double avalanche there. It's the culling, but here comes Chase U. This is a well booked match. There's not really any dead spots of action. It's very fluid. It's almost too fast. But all these guys are working pretty seamlessly together. Black Panther Gaming, what you got to say? Remember WWE 12 Road to WrestleMania storylines? Makes sense. Called go back to old. WrestleMania team with Hero. Storyline is stupid. I think this would be 3.0 technically, Sophie, because you had the Rainbow NXT, which was 2.0, and this is kind of after that. So I guess you'd call it 3.0. Actually, no. This would be 4.0 because the original NXT was the game show that created the Nexus. And then after that iteration was Black and Gold. I don't know what the hype function is for, Dossie. That's a great question. I have not determined that. Wow, double frog splashes from Chase U. Yeah, then 2.0, then now. So I guess this is 4.0. Who's here? OTM is here. Okay, I have a problem. OTM is here, and they're causing havoc. But here's the thing. How many times has WWE told us that there are no DQs in a triple threat match? How many times? And they just rang the bell as soon as they showed up. I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with OTM coming and creating havoc. And if you want to call it a no contest, if they destroy all the teams, it's fine. But like, don't. All I want is consistency in the narrative language of wrestling. I don't mind them trying to establish OTM, but if you're going to keep telling us triple threat matches are no DQ, don't have a DQ in a triple threat match. Sol Ruka and ZARIA. Convenience is the answer, Dossie. You're absolutely right. Gotcha, Rick RT. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, Solruka. Okay. Well, this is interesting. Solruka has relinquished her battle royal entry and given it to ZARIA as a peace offering. Given that she cost ZARIA the match early by accident, and with her interference, and given their little spat earlier about her having too many titles. So here's to teams that don't always have to break up. Although that is going to come one day, and that's going to be so sad. Because these two are like Frodo and Sam levels of love and friendship at this point. So one of these days, when that breakup comes, it's going to be brutal. If they play it right, they might actually make people cry in the audience. So yeah. So it is what it is, man. But so Solruka is now out of the battle royal, and ZARIA is in. So we'll see, though. Again, that battle royal, which will be coming up soon, is going to be featuring NXT talent and TNA knockouts as well. So could it be someone from TNA? So we'll see. Demolition still together. Yeah, there we go. The Axe and the Smasher, baby. Walking disasters. Oh, goodness. But yeah, so, a lot of, as they say in, other stories, world building tonight on NXT. Decent match with Blake and ZARIA. Good to see Matt Cardona come back. But we're obviously on the build towards Halloween Havoc now. Yeah, absolutely. We're going. We are building a tag division for the men. George, good observation there. You got the Culling, you got Hank and Tank, you got Jacy, you got Dark State, and they keep teasing us a little about Javon and Leon Slater perhaps forming a team too. And technically, you can consider the Hardys as a part of that, at least temporarily, since they are the NXT Tag Team Champions. So, yeah, it's been quite a division that just kind of bloomed out of nowhere. And I mean, NXT could have a women's tag team division as soon as they decided they wanted it, because there's enough women there they could tag together. I mean, you've already got the Culling, you've got Zaruka, you've got you could have Fatal Influence as well. I forget who else, but yeah, a couple of other teams you could put that you could put that together really quickly. Yeah, it's just a matter of, is it important enough for them, which clearly it hasn't been, which is a shame. Every time they get some tag teams with some traction, they just give them cameo appearances on the main roster. All right, well, we're back, and Ricky Saints is crashing out, looking for Trick. What's Ava got to say? Ava said Trick is gone. I agree, Sophie. It did. It's the pebble. You ain't wrong, Rick RT. All right, so next week we get a contract signing for Halloween Havoc. Okay. Honestly, if Trick's not going to the main roster anytime soon, I wouldn't be mad at him taking the belt right off Ricky Saints. I'm just not I'm not hyped for Ricky yet. I want him to succeed, and I'm glad he's in NXT. But for one reason, for whatever reason it is, it just doesn't click with me. But here we go. Next week, contract signing for Halloween Havoc between Trick Williams and NXT champion Ricky Saints. Also, North American Championship will be defended in a Day of the Dead match at Halloween Havoc between Dr. Wagner Jr. and champion Ethan Page. So, Hardys versus Dark State for the tag titles again. Rematch from Showdown. And then the NXT Women's Championship will be defended by Jacy Jayne against the winner of the Battle Royal. What was NWA Ricky Starks like, Ricker T? Okay. Looks like Jordan Grace. Okay, so it's time for the Battle Royal, I guess. We're going to do a half-hour Battle Royal. I'm here for it. 20 women. Okay, so I'm very curious who all from TNA will be in this as well. I imagine Indy Hartwell may show up. Kalani, obviously, we know she's in it. And a few others. Oh, okay. Ricker T, natural heel is 100% right, though. Okay, Lash is in this. Bougie Bully is here. But yeah. I mean, Ricky, that's the thing. I don't get behind Ricky as a face. Justin, there was one contract signing that did not involve going through the table because right before Heatwave, I believe it was, when Tavion and Tyra May came out to sign their contract with Chelsea Green and Ethan Page, they got to the ring first and threw the table out of the ring on purpose. Absolutely loved that bit. That was one of my favorite spots of the night. I'm not crazy about Lash's theme music. She deserves better. All right, who's coming out now? Oh, Angel Warriors. Angel Warriors from TNA are here. Lei Ying Lee and Zia Brookside. George, dethroning Jacy Jayne, honestly, it could be a number of people. Like, I would be okay with Jordan Grace, Lola Vice, Sol Ruka, Blake Monroe, even, although that would be a little weird, but I mean, Lash, I would be okay with. Jada Parker, I'd be fine with her doing it too. It is 6 women. Any of those 6 women, I'd be fine with any of them dethroning her, which are pretty much women that she's almost all beaten all of them, but I'd still rather see them come out. I'd rather one of them do it. Victoria Crawford. Oh, the former Alicia Fox. All right, she's here. Okay. The former Alicia Fox here. Good to see her again. You know what I love about the NXT crowd too is they don't forget. They don't forget people. Oh, here she is, Miss Parker. A little crack. I can hear Rick T now. I can save her. I don't know, man. I know, George. Is Tessa in the house? That would be wild. All right, are y'all getting a commercial after Jada's entrance? Sometimes the main roster doesn't remember people. Depends on how people get presented, but we'll see. All right, got my commercial. I'm on my commercial break. You guys just let me know when y'all are back. Oh goodness. So we had quite a night of NXT already. I think this week has been a good come down from NXT TNA Showdown and Bound for Glory, and we're kind of just smoothing out the foundation again, getting ready to build up to Halloween Havoc again. So, that's been solid. Out of the 20 females in this match, how many you think get called up? I mean, so far the NXT women that have come out are Jordan Grace, Lash Legend, and Jada Parker. And I think all of them will get called up eventually. I don't know. It's not so much who, Sophie, to me, as when. I don't know when call-ups will happen. And I guess we'll find out when we come back from commercial what other NXT women are going to be in the match. So it depends, but it seems like I wonder if they have enough women in TNA to do 10 and 10. I wonder what the breakdown is for the number of talent in the match. By the way, just let me know when we're back from commercial as well, and I'll join up with you guys. Rick RT thinks Lash should be next. I don't think that's bad. I think Lola could do well next. With the right pairing. Jordan, okay. George thinks Jordan. I think that's a solid option as well. Dro, I don't know where Oba is, man. I know that he was on the NXT live show in Columbus or Cleveland or somewhere like that, and he had a stare down with Omos. But as far as NXT TV, he has not. He absolutely hasn't been on TV since he lost the title to Ricky Saints. So I would think they're just holding him back until they're ready to debut him on the main roster at this point. And, he can make some appearances on these live events that they're touring just to stay sharp in the ring and please the crowd. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, Lash had that feud with Nia Jax that went from SmackDown and NXT. Now, see, Dark State here has dropped on. Oh, you're not back. Okay, all right. Well, then I'm not going to spoil what I just saw. Oh yeah, I know. Like there was a little bit of about Lash and Jakara being possible assailants for Jade. I remember that. Speaking of which, though, Mara Sade, she should probably be in this battle royal. She wouldn't be a bad opponent for Jacy Jayne, which that would be absolutely wild for her to be released from WWE, get signed by TNA, and then get an NXT title shot. Like, what in the Mustafa Ali is going on there? Would be crazy. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I have that game, Black Panther, but I have not played it. I started it like a year ago or so, but I didn't pick it back up again. I started playing something else and I just forgot to go back to it. I'm actually playing Ghost of Yote and college football. Those are the games, and 2K, obviously. Those are the most current games I'm playing right now. I love the Ghost series, Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yote. Just beautiful, beautiful game. So big fan of that series. And obviously college football and 2K as well. So I need, I have as much as time as I have, which is few and far between sometimes. I do want that. Yeah, Dark State just dropped the Hardys backstage, though. NXT backstage is becoming the new NXT parking lot. NBA 2K. Okay, Dro. I see you. Okay. X Division Championship will be defended on NXT next week. Stax and Leon Slater. And now OTM versus Hank and Tank next week as well. Okay. We're filling out the card already for next week, man. And then the first round matches. Bro, we're getting Axiom versus Sean Legacy. That match is going to burn. That's gonna be one of the best 3-minute matches you've ever seen. And then Jasper Joy versus Zach Wentz. Okay, it looks like the room is filled up. The ring is filled up. I do see Mara Sade in there. I see the Iconics or the Inspiration in there as well. I see Thea Hale. Looks like Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair might also be in there. They said somebody from Evolve is in there too. Tatum is in there, which means Izzy is probably in there as well. She said she was going to be in it. Sol Ruka is ringside. Okay, because ZARIA is in the ring. Oh, they're working on Lash already. Well, Sophie, they haven't done anything with the men's speed title yet. And that's the great thing about speed is they're only going to be 3-minute matches, so they won't be on your screen for very long. Oh, Victoria Crawford. Lash getting ready to dump her already. Who is going to be the first lady out here? Let's see. Okay, who's... Oh, Carmen Petrovich. Oh, Carmen Petrovich, the first one out. The Inspiration. The Inspiration working as a team, as you would come to expect. Sophie, you know what's crazy is that for this show being taped, I didn't see spoilers anywhere online this week, which I was so thankful for because I kept forgetting that the show was taped. And I was afraid it was going to ruin my stream. And so far, everyone's been really good together, and we've all just been able to rock together and enjoy this in the moment. Is that Ariana Grace? Yeah. Ariana Grace and Victoria Crawford squaring up on the ring apron, shaking hands. Well, Jordan Grace just eliminates both Ariana and Victoria Crawford. Jordan Grace just said, Alicia, I love you on the outside. Okay. Li Yang, she's got that girl from Evolve. I can't remember what her name is right now. Oh, Kaylee Armstrong. She was the Evolve champion. And she just got rid of Li Yang. Zaya Brookside going for blood now, though. She's wants some revenge. All right. Ren Sinclair facing the Inspiration here, and she's trapped on the ring apron. Oh, no. Ren, I think her hands might have slipped. She was doing a spot, and completely her hands slipped off the post, and she fell to the floor. But Ren Sinclair is out. Kendall Gray now trying to take her shot at the Inspiration. Uh-oh. Cassie Lee. Kendall Gray trying to get rid of the Inspiration. A lot of screaming by the Inspiration going on. And Cassie Lee gets herself back in the ring. ZARIA and Mara Chardet going at it. Oh, whoa. Kendall Gray gets rid of Cassie Lee. Sean Spears isn't going to be happy about that. There's some chants for Kendall in the crowd. Okay. That was not iconic. I think we all have to have the same response of Cassie Lee getting eliminated. You got to be joking me. You got to be joking me. Are you joking me? You got to be joking me. Whoa, Lash and Jakara. Oh, Lash is about to Uncle Scar Mufasa. Jakara. Oh, she saved Jakara. How sweet. Oh, and ZARIA ruins it. Mara's out. Lash and Mara having that moment was pretty sweet, though. And Mara gets eliminated thanks to ZARIA. Xia Brookside now trying to bring Armstrong out, who eliminated her partner, Li Yang. Oh, Xia Brookside is gone now. Kalani Jordan now going for Kaylee Armstrong. Uh-oh. Lash and Jada going for it. Oh, Miss Parker is gone. Lash Legend just eliminated Jada Parker. I thought Jada would have lasted a little bit longer in this match. When Lash hits the hypnotic on Xia Brookside, she is not happy. Jada's crashing out, and security's having to pull her off. Meanwhile, the rest of the field has picked up Lash, and they're going to toss Lash onto all the security guards. So now Lash is gone. Now Jada's mad. So now we got, really about 8 women left? Okay. My goodness. Okay. So far, looks like certain people of the teams having some good team moments. Cool to see Lash and Jakara interact with each other. Nothing crazy happening as of yet, other than, getting, let's see. Excuse me. Let's see. Other than Jada and Lash getting eliminated kind of early. But so far we're down to Jess McKay from the Inspiration. We've got ZARIA, Jordan Grace, Thea Hale, Izzy and Tatum are both still in it as well. I'm probably Kalani's still in there, and so yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, Lola's not here. At least they haven't shown her at all, so she's not even in it. But we'll see when we come back from commercial about that. So, all right, Sophie, well, please just keep that quiet so we can keep enjoying the show. Like I said, it was a pre-tape show tonight, and we've made it. So far, we're almost at the end of the show without any spoilers, which is really great. Just a big testament to the integrity of this group, which I really appreciate. So, yeah, well, I mean, Lola has real world connections to Damian Priest, so who knows? Maybe she will, because now that Damian Priest is in a feud, with Aleister Black, who just got paired up with his wife, Zelina Vega, maybe he brings up Lola to back him up against Zelina. I mean, that I would watch that for sure. So, yeah, she also has connect. She still has ongoing stories in AAA as well. Lola's a busy woman, so I mean, good for her for getting her usage. Appreciate her being valued well. So, I think I really was hoping that Lola would have won the title at Heat Wave. I think it was Heat Wave. I can't keep these shows yet. I can't keep these shows straight anymore. The PLEs, but yeah, I feel like a run as NXT Women's Champion would have been nice to cap off her NXT run before a call up, but I don't know. So, they always said that he and Caden Carter were just friends. I mean, they both said that. I think, even though I know a lot of their sort of online and social media appearances together were a little playful, maybe a little flirty, but they both on record had said that they weren't, weren't an item. That looks like Lola in the corner. Maybe that's who is that in the far corner? Oh, Thea Hale going for the Kimura. Izzy Dame just eliminated Kaylee Armstrong and Thea Hale. Oh, Heather by Elegance was out as well. ZARIA and Izzy Dame going at it. Jordan Grace, Kendall Gray, Tatum Paxley, Jess McKay, Kalani Jordan. I think that is Lola Vice. She just didn't get an entrance. Wow, that's different. Wait, who's here? Is that Blake? Oh my gosh, Blake Monroe just came out and attacked Sol Ruca. And now she's having it. Now ZARIA is distracted. ZARIA, don't leave. Don't give your... Oh gosh, ZARIA went over the top rope. ZARIA just eliminated herself to check on Sol. Come on, ZARIA. Why didn't you just go under the rope to check on her? In the words of Dark Helmet from Spaceballs, this is why evil will always triumph, because good is dumb. Oh, Lola got dumped by Jess McKay, and there was Lola. She was in it. She just didn't get any coverage at all. I wouldn't do that for anybody, Sophie. I'd go under the bottom rope. I would not go over the top. I'd still check on them, but I'd do it under the ropes. Oh, Jess is getting dumped by Kendall Gray. And now Tatum is still there. So we got Kalani, Tatum, Jordan, and Izzy, both members of the Culling, still here. I don't think Grayson lasts us too much longer with the New Day now. Jordan trying to eliminate Kalani, and Kalani's Shawn Michaels in it. Wow, she's trying to sunset flip her off the apron to eliminate her. Wow, what strength and flexibility by Kalani and Jordan Grace. Wow, Kalani now walking on her hands. She's going to put her feet back on the apron. She just Kofi'd the mess out of her, and Jordan just said, nope. And she's down. And that is that. Impressive display by Kalani, but she's out. All right, final four. Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame, Jordan Grace, and Kendall Gray. I think we're going to have a culling story get out of this. I think Tatum, I was about to say, I agree, George. I think this could be Tatum's. Kendall and Jordan both thrown over, and they both skin the cat. Big smack from Jordan to Izzy and Kendall to Tatum. Now Kendall and Jordan going at it. Like a tilt-a-whirl flapjack. Big spine buster onto Tatum, excuse me. Jordan is going nuts on everybody. Death Valley driver onto Izzy. Now she's going for Tatum. Nope. Oh my gosh. Tatum on the apron. Izzy and Tatum now. Dro, they taped 2 episodes of NXT back to back last week, I believe. I don't know. Oh, I think it's because they're on the live tour right now. Izzy now trying to dump Kendall Gray over the corner, and Jordan and Tatum are both down. Izzy is kicked away. High cross body caught by Izzy. Izzy's stronger than she looks too. DDT. Izzy is a bronze girl, if I remember correctly. Big German suplex. Well, the NXT crew is doing house shows right now across the Midwest. So they're not in Orlando right now, I believe. Uh-oh, Kendall's going to toss Tatum. Oh my gosh. Hang on, Tatum. Hang on. Still going for it again. Jordan Grace is about to Sid Justice Kendall Gray here. Ooh, big punch. Looked like a code breaker there from Izzy. I don't like, Kendall Gray is dumped out. So now it's the Culling and Jordan Grace. Okay. Come on, Tatum. Oh my gosh. Tatum wins. Izzy Dame did a running clothesline onto Jordan, and they both went over, and Tatum survived. And of course, Tatum Paxley, the Wednesday Addams of NXT, gets a title match at Halloween Havoc. It makes so much sense when you say it out loud. They are going to be so hyped for Tatum at Halloween Havoc. I love that choice. Yeah, where is Lyra at? Lyra needs to come out and congratulate her. We saw she was backstage earlier in the night. I would love to see that. Oh, Trey. What's up, Trey? Good to see you, man. Yeah, Izzy's not loving it. I feel like Izzy could cost Tatum the match out of jealousy, but man, I hope not. I would love to see Tatum pull the rug out at Halloween Havoc. That would be so much fun. Yeah, Izzy does not look happy. And there's Fatal Influence staring down. All right. What a great. Oh, there's Lyra. Lyra just ran by. Oh, look at that. Group hug. Oh, and everybody's happy. She's her real friend, Lyra Valkyria. Lyra is the friend to all the crazy women of the WWE. Love it. Great end to the show. Listen, the pacing was a little deliberate tonight. They had to. We're out of we are out of Showdown and Bound for Glory, so we have to kind of set the table for what's next. But that was a great show tonight. It was a good job. Again, building to next week, building to Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc's really shaping up to be a fun card. We're going to have Ricky Saints and Trick Williams. We're going to have Dr. Wagner and Ethan Page. We're going to have the Hardys and Dark State again. We're going to have Tatum Paxley and Jacy Jayne. So, should be a whole lot of fun for Halloween Havoc. So thank you guys so much for being here, man. Great time talking tonight. Thank you all, by the way, for your help since we were watching a pre-tape show. That was a fantastic chat we had tonight as well, knowing that it was pre-taped, not getting any spoilers for anybody. Thank you guys for behaving in that. And also, I never saw anything come through the chat that upset the balance of the community. So anyway, so good to have you guys around tonight. Thank you for all you do to make this a fun environment. And I will see you guys again. If I don't see you before next week, we're absolutely going to be here for NXT next week. Hey, breakout star of the year, Riccardi. Hey, man, Lyra keeps getting better and better. Her stuff in the ring was already tops, in the beginning, but her personality is coming through more and more. I think, especially seeing the way that she works with Tatum on NXT, and now that she's doing this work with Bayley on the main roster as well, she's really coming out into her own. It's just really cool to see. Justin, I believe it's just for the NXT titles, the Dark State Hardy match. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think it's just the NXT titles this time around. So we'll see where we go from there. But thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to head out, but I will see you guys again soon, as always. And I will try to get a poll up soon so we can revisit the top moments of tonight. But until then, I appreciate you guys so much. And do not forget, as we always say, to be a mark, because being a mark means you believe. And believing makes wrestling better. Absolutely love this space that we have together to revel in the joy that we have of wrestling fans, to watch things together and actually find out the things that we love and go through that. So thank you guys so much for all that. Really appreciate you guys. And I will see you all again very, very